Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast of three brothers trying to figure it all out, with your hosts, Brandon, Colin, and Aaron. On this week's show, the other beige. Work mode activate.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, my computer just said entering work mode again. I still.
Oh.
So here I am. Activating work mode.
I mean,
I'm not entirely sure what that means. Just to be honest, I don't know what my computer is trying to do. Maybe it's
differently.
Different. Yeah, I know. I need to dive into exactly what it's doing. Maybe I don't want that.
Maybe not. I don't know. Some listeners would probably agree and say, it doesn't sound like they're working. I don't know what is.
I don't know. Whatever. I made an upgrade to the recording desk today. I did in fact find a piece of not old carpet, but of carpet that they had replaced in all the rooms. I found a piece of that rolled up in our bathroom cabinet, and so I cut a piece off of it, and now that's my coaster on my desk. Because I have a glass top, and it's very bangy whenever I set down my mini cans of LaCroix.
Oh yes,
and so now I can set them down, and it's like, oh, can't even tell. It's like silent.
Setting them down gently.
Yeah, no, I can set down aggressively now.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it'll sound gently. Yeah. We all know that you don't set things down. You only set things down aggressively.
Only.
Right? It's just how you
only have full force at all times. Just yeah. Kamehameha that into.
Oh yeah, yes, obviously. 7 episodes powering up
with the wind up.
Yeah, you got
greatest wind up in history.
Got it. My favorite part about that. Sorry for the random Dragon Ball Z tangent here, but my favorite part about that is like my memory of Dragon Ball Z, right? As watched on like Cartoon Network. Okay, the only again, there's a whole episode about this, folks, about anime watching. But recap, the only anime I basically ever watched as a child was Dragon Ball Z, some Mobile Suit Gundam, and like the odd episode of Sailor Moon. That was it. But like Dragon Ball Z was hilarious because Goku would like the first time he ever did anything, he would power up for like it felt like 12 episodes. Right. And then like he would do this mega thing and then it would like obliterate a planet, you know, and like decimate everyone. And then next time he would just like do it again, like, but it was like, yeah, boom, done. Like, wait a minute, what?
It's the first one. That's the one that really.
That's what Dragon Ball taught me. Is the first time is the only difficult time, and then you have to learn another super move, a super mega ultra move, because even though your super move decimated your last foe, it is peanuts compared to the newest foe that you shall face. So that's
exactly. Always an upgrade.
That's what I learned. Yeah. That's what I learned from Goku.
Yes. Also learned that Dragon Ball Z is just a tiny sliver of the Dragon Ball verse.
Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna make people really angry because I only know about Dragon Ball Z. That's it. That is all. That's all.
I know. So like, oh well, what about the original Dragon Ball and then the Dragon Ball Z and then what about Dragon Ball GT and then Dragon Ball Super? I mean, come on here.
I know of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
that is it.
So, yes, that episode being the hit the random button, where we
yes,
watched
episode, by the way,
some very interesting things.
And then I said I was going to watch more, and then I didn't.
It's fine.
Yeah, okay. The basketball anime didn't just draw me in. You know, shocking, really, to no one. But this is
really not that surprising.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, anyway, were you channeling your inner Goku today whilst painting furiously in the house? Is this what you're doing? You
Oh my gosh.
powering up, and then like rolling a wall all at once? Like,
I don't understand why I am so tired. I mean, one, I am very, very sick. But
ingredient one right there. We found it. Spoilerinos.
Oh my gosh, it's boy, it's quite interesting. No, I've been having congestion and all sorts of stuff, so that doesn't help. But then the activity of like painting, like it's not that. This is not to mean the painters and the finishers of the world. But I didn't paint for that long. I think that's what I'll say. I did not paint for that long. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm really tired right now. This is not okay. So yes, I've been painting quite a bit yesterday and today. We are painting the rooms and doing our best to not make a mess of things, which is hard.
Yes. I mean, that is the biggest challenge of painting. Right?
Oh my gosh.
You always say that, and then whoopsie daisy.
Yes.
Then you drop a can of paint on the stairs, and it's been there for 20 years. So
shaped like a lobster.
That's just how it works, right?
Yes.
That's not.
Now, I will say, long-term view, like, okay, let's just the macro view here. Carpet will be replaced. So that's a bonus of that. Like, we know we're going to replace the carpet.
That's true. Sort of take some of the tension out of the situation.
Yes,
right?
I'm not
like, if I get a little bit on the carpet, it doesn't matter.
I'm going to exactly. It's not the end of the world. It's not. So
yeah, well, that's good. At least.
That does help quite a bit. But so far, miraculously, I have a lot less paint on me than I think Mimi ever had. Like on her glasses alone.
Speaking of not doing things delicately, that was.
Oh my gosh! I mean, I'm so traumatized from that. Where I'm just like, I'll paint, and then I'll be like, okay, let's go see how bad I'm covered in paint speckle, and then I'll go and I'll look, and I'll go, oh, I don't have any on me. What was she doing? Like, how was she painting? Like, I have so many questions now.
Well, I feel like a large part of the time, what was actually happening is she was talking whilst holding a paintbrush. And listeners, if you have a grandmother that wildly gesticulates or gesticulated while speaking, this is how you just get paint everywhere, right? You just talk and you fling your arms about and you get paint everywhere.
Oh my gosh. So I'm doing really well compared to that. But it's been we've been trying to like have Megan go ahead of me and get everything taped, and then I come in and do the edging and then the rolling, and it does not help that our rooms are incredibly bold. Like we have no not bold colors upstairs. Downstairs everything's like a tan or like a light green or like a light whatever. Upstairs Lillian's room is like pink and the walls are striped pink from the previous owner.
Nice. That is a little hard to paint over, right? It's a little tricky.
Noah's is like a seafoam green, and it's like dark. It's like a dark green kind of thing. So like that takes a lot to cover. And then our bedroom is a deep red. It's like a very, very rich red, which this
is getting worse.
So, when we are buying paint, it was kind of funny. This is introducing things that Colin has never done in his life. Bought paint from a store for any reason for like interior stuff. So this is a new experience, and I showed up and like we had really agonized over our picture, our quote unquote colors that we were picking from, our Scandinavian minimalism, in case you want to know the palette.
So your beige and your beige and your light beige.
Yeah, your other beige.
And your white and your off-white and your touch of gray. And then...
Yes, nothing too exciting that's going to, really get the heart pumping. But this was a safe bet that we could do. And Megan reminded me that these colors were chosen nigh on a year ago, specifically right after the rebranding logo debacle. and I was like, oh, that's right. I was mentally exhausted from making decisions, and we just went with the most non-offensive ones that we could possibly select.
Hey, it's fine. It's good. It's all right.
But I did have some mild panic when she was like, okay, this is the weekend we're buying paint. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then we looked at our color swatches and my heart started rapidly palpitating. And then I had to be like, no, it's fine. Like, we've committed, and I'm not going down that corridor anymore. We're just going with this. Showed up and I said I would like a gallon of this, and to which it responded, which kind? And I went, the gentleman's name, very helpful.
Yeah.
I said, Austin, I gotta be honest with you, I don't know what you're asking right now. And he said, oh, well, you just need to select if you want like the ultra paint or the premium paint or the super excellent paint or whatever, like, because they do different things. Like, one's really good at stain resistance, and one's really good at scuff resistance, and one's really good at covering, and one has the base coat built in and all this stuff. And I was like, well, this is the decision not on my map this morning. So, well, let's see here.
Speaking of being unprepared,
I'm going to do what I usually do here, and I'm going to really focus on the middle price point and bargain myself down one tier. And so that's what I did.
I like it. I like the strat.
And specifically it was because we are going to be painting over an undetermined amount of time span for our house, and the middle tier is on sale right now, so it's actually cheaper than the one below it. However, I'm terrified of buying it on sale and then
needing more, gone up a little bit,
and it's gone up, and now it's out of a comfortable price range and everything. And so I was like, like, there's just some like predictability here that I'm a little concerned about.
But then you don't want to buy like too much paint, right? Because it was on sale, and then you're like, dang it, I don't have like a whole half gallon that's just sitting here.
Yeah, I don't want to be like, oh, I actually don't like that. Oh, okay, great. This is extremely unhelpful. So I was like, well, this one, I know this one's going to be here, and so we'll just go with this. And I don't need like the stain resistance. Like, I'm not throwing glasses of wine around. I mean, I have children, but like,
I was gonna say, your daughter, who knows what she's throwing around, right? Like, just could be anything. Like, it's
to date, the only spot on our house that has been drawn upon is, of course, naturally our staircase, where a crayon was held out and walked gently up the stairs.
Yes.
As is done. So, room-wise, none of that has happened. So I was like, okay, I'm pretty comfortable with this.
That's pretty good. Because she's old enough now where this is like not as much of a thing, right? So like, it should be fine.
Yeah, if they were, which is, again, another very important reason here to note that we have waited until our children were like 5 and older to go down this endeavor of like,
good plan.
They know. So because they
don't want to repaint with a 3-year-old, right? Could disastrous.
Why even bother, right? At that point. So anyway, I said, okay, I want this one. And he said, eggshell, and he goes, oh, what kind of finish? And I said, again, I don't know my options there.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, oh, he goes, how shiny do you want it? And I was like, not shiny.
Shiny.
Not shiny. No, muted. It's Scandinavian minimalism. It's going against the whole ethos to make it shiny. Right? It's
good.
It's not.
That's a good point, right? You don't really...
It's not something that you do. At which point, the aforementioned daughter at the counter now finds the bag of gold flakes that you can sell that you
yeah.
get dumped into your paint.
She's like, no, but we need these, Dad.
Yeah. I'm sure she was like, okay, that's fine if you don't want it shiny, but what about if it shimmered?
Man, okay, so first of all, that would be horrible to try to roll on a wall.
Oh, I
gold flecked. Oh my gosh, that would be the worst thing of all time, right? Like,
I know.
they have to. I mean, I'm not okay. So, like, I'm imagining this is slightly different, right? It's probably like for texture and like interesting designs, but for like actually making things like shininess, like they need to be like standing at odd angles, right? And that's how the light reflects off of them. And that's what you do when you spray it on. Right. So like having like big old fat gold flakes like rolled on the wall would just be, they wouldn't go evenly. Maybe hold. Oh man, that'd be terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. I was very disturbed by just that thought of what that would look like on a wall. So we didn't do that. And we handed him it's
a good plan
thing. Yeah. Handed him the thing. And I was like, I just wanted to get 1 gallon and I just wanted to see again, like I just want to see what this is like and see how it's going to roll on and all this stuff. And then we get back and I had been prepping walls and filling little nicks and stuff and looking at the baseboard, and Megan had been taping. So I was like, okay, I feel like we're really good to go now. The one thing that we had not thought of is that the design in her room is such that it actually looks like wallpaper, because from half the wall down is going around the center of the wall is a thin green stripe. And then below that is alternating light pink, dark pink, light pink, dark pink, in like inch and a half bands that go all the way around the wall. Okay. And then above that is light pink. Well, I realized that, all of those were painted on. And so there's actually a slight lip and like texture difference between each band, specifically between the upper half that's light pink to the green line and then below that. So that interface between the light pink to the green is actually raised slightly because of that extra layer of green paint that's on there. So I was like, oh, I have to scrape these walls.
Time to prime it up, my man. Gotta go.
So I was scraping off like just that edge a little bit and like finding all the rough spots and like basically sanding all the wall down.
Yeah. Like scraping is not the right word, right? I feel
and then I could paint, right? And then I could paint. And then the problem is that the color we used is so light and muted that compared to the light pink above it, I couldn't tell if I had covered everything, because until I got within like nose distance from the wall, so I could go, oh, that there's actually pink that I'm still seeing there. So I have to go back over this. And so because of the colors, and this is now for her room, Noah's and ours, I have to keep the roller really wet to get like a lot of paint down to get this covered. Like it takes.
If you would have primed the wall, it would have been better.
Well, and the reason we bought this paint is because the primer goes
the primer
with it.
Built in it. Okay, gotcha.
Which I originally was just like, okay, I'll just paint, but now I'm like, oh, right, I'm coding for basically primer and the color, so I have to keep this thicker on the roller.
That's true.
And that's hard for me. Just keep anyway. So I've been adapting to that, and we're about done fully with Lil's. Next thing we need to do is go back and paint all of the trim, and I will have to scrape paint off the wood for that because there are some nicks and stuff in there that I'll have to get taken care of. So that'll be fun, I think.
That will not be fun. But it'll be a thing that you're gonna do.
Sure. Yes. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. It takes about, they were like, how many square feet are you needing? And this was for her room. I was like, it's 354 square feet. And he was great. This one can will cover 400. And I was like, sweet. Well, no, because of how we're painting. It's about 1.5 cans per room is what we're figuring right now.
Oh, wow. So
yeah, it's a lot.
That is thick, man. You are laying that down thick. That's holy cow.
Well, because I just tried to go like sugar, like, do the rolly thing, not splatter or anything, but like you could it was very apparent. And then I'm like, well, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, over the pink, especially if you're going over with like a light beige, that's just not going to work. Right. It's just not. That's not how that works. Right. Like, it's
no. And I've thought about, okay, do I need to should I get a different roller? I don't know. Like, if the roller is for smooth walls and it's a good roller. So I'm like, well, it's, like, anyway. So
yeah, it's one of those things where it's hard painting over other colors back to like a neutral base is difficult because sometimes you just have to lay it. You have to get some like not cheap, but like you have to get like another color, like, and use it like primer, like just like an off-white, and just like kind of slam it over everything to kind of use that like the primer to kind of like mute things down, knock it down a little bit, and then paint over that. It's a whole kind of annoying, right? Like, just depends on, or you just have to super slop it on there because, like you said, like colors just bleed through sometimes, right? Pigments are weird. Pigments interact with each other strangely when you have a base layer already underneath, right? And so there's just a lot of weird things there's a very strange interactions that go on with that, right? And it's just very difficult to like figure out. So it'll be fine. It'll be no problem.
So yeah, between that, and it's going well, and we're just trying to focus on one room at a time. Between that, and I've been diving into when I'm not painting, because I can't really paint too much at nighttime because the light and everything, and going into kids' bedrooms and everything, whatever. So what I've been spending my evenings doing. Oh goodness, glad you asked. Is
hey Colin, what are you spending your evenings doing?
Let me tell you about Google Search Console. Boy howdy, this is.
Do you have to? That doesn't really sound amazing.
Amazing. Oh man, it's so good. It can tell you.
Is it though? No. Is this how you like prep for bed? Like, I'm just gonna do a little Google, like boom, done. Like, is that instead of tea, you're doing that?
That's what I pretty much. I mean, basically, I was like, okay, because I had a question about how a website that we do is doing, and I was like, well, let me go check to see. You could basically, it's a way to look at performance of your website, and we had been talking with someone who was helping us with one of ours that was dealing with like she asked like, how long are people spending on your website usually? And I was like, I gotta go look at the freaking statistics.
So the graph.
Go look at the graph and go look at the bounce rate and blah blah. So while I was digging around in there, I noticed this little tab that says indexing, and I was like, oh, I like indexing. That's fun. And then I found sitemaps.
Oh no!
Like,
this is going bad places in a hurry.
It's like, oh no. So then I was like looking at sitemaps, and it turned out that some of the sitemaps like hadn't been resubmitted in a little bit, and it's supposed to pull them automatically, but something. So I resubmitted the sitemap, and I was like looking at pages, and then what Google does is Google takes the sitemap and it goes, okay, thank you for showing me all of the possible pages for your website. I will periodically, with our Google bot, look at this sitemap to see if anything's changed. But indexing is different crawled is different than indexing. So crawled is whenever it just goes, okay, thank you for showing me where the website is. Indexing is whenever the Google bot actually comes back and goes, what's on this website, this web page? And that's how you can get that content surfaced when people Google for you. So the crawling is one aspect. The indexing is a whole other thing. Google does not automatically index every page for various reasons. you have to tell it sometimes to go ahead and index certain pages. And then I was like, there's like over, like, they will say like, oh, they have 1,500 web pages on this website. And I'm like, that's a lot. And it'll be like, you've only indexed 200. I'm like, well, I want all of them indexed.
Oh no.
Right? Don't I?
Do you?
And it turns out, no, you don't. And
I don't think it's
too
many, right?
Well, what happens is like for the Oh Brother podcast, because then I was like, oh, what do the other places look like? So I looked at other ones, and it turns out that the Oh Brother sitemap was up to date, but Google currently, so it says not indexed 1,300 have not been indexed, but what have been indexed is 242. And I was like, that's a lot to not be indexed, right? Like where and I was like, there are 5 pages on our website. Like where? What are these? What are these other 1,370? So what happens is when we post an episode,
is that like the episode things maybe?
Okay, so that's one thing, but that's all of those are accounted in the index of 242.
Okay.
What actually this is when I post the episode, it gets tagged with keywords.
Oh, yeah.
And then the keywords act as a new web page for that episode with that keyword.
Oh, so those ones where you put like 17 keywords on there.
Yes. Yes. So
yeah, okay.
So
that makes sense.
I don't think I'm going to be putting those keywords in there anymore. Because I basically wanted to know, like, is that bad? Like, does that hurt a website's functionality for Google? And she said, no, but you really need to think if the tags are helpful, like if that's one way people are navigating and using your website, like that's one thing. But if you're just throwing tags in there to throw tags in there, don't have them in there, because that does it's just wasted web space at that
clogs
point.
Up the thing.
And I was like, fine. So
you could just you do a couple, you'd be okay. Ease down, right? Have to get rid of it altogether. It's fine.
I know we have so many. We have apparently like obviously well over 1,000.
Well, yeah, apparently 1,000. Yeah,
look, like just the first one's right off the bat. 13th century, 90s. That's a good one.
Okay, that one's good. That one's important. That's like 7 episodes right there. Like,
we do also have Air Brakes, album, allergy, animated, app, armor, basketball game. Man, this would be a whole new episode, is just to walk through and see, like,
I feel like some of those are unnecessary. Some of those are pretty good though.
Okay, a Viking ship, obviously leaving that one in here.
Yeah,
but like, Zazzle, it caught the word Zazzle as a tag.
That's weird. From where?
I don't know. So that's what I've been working on. I mean,
I'm glad that you're finding enjoyment out of this. This sounds rather horrifying to me, but as long as it's good, as long as it's working, right?
Apparently. Okay, hold on. Okay, it showed up in episode No Robot Arm, January.
That's a good one though.
11th, 2021.
I like that episode actually. I'm not just saying that because there are episodes and I love all of them, but I do like that one. That was good. It
was a good one. Good. We asked about the relationship between Cyberpunk 2077 and Jean-Paul Sartre.
I mean, this is what you're here for, folks. This is cutting edge.
Oh man. So anyway, that's some little peek behind the curtain, back end work of page indexing and crawling for websites. And there's just so many good things in there. That's not true. It's all awful. It's all terrible.
No.
Yeah, and then we got snow today, and it's been it snowed out. It did not snow where you guys are, right? Not very much.
Yeah, it did. We were out of school today. Right, it snowed some this morning, but not too much. Right, it was not too bad. Yeah, we snowed quite. We had probably 3 to 4 inches, kind of where we maxed out at. So not too bad. Respectable. Out of school today. Nice bonus day off. Okay, very nice. So, yeah, it's been pretty good. It was pretty gnarly this morning, right? It was pretty. The snow was like really wet and heavy, and just kind of like blah. So it would have been just the slickest thing in the world to try to drive on, right? Especially for a school bus. So, yeah, no school today. Blammo. Gotta go back tomorrow, but it's fine. It's all right. A nice bonus day off in the middle of the week. It's all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Hoping for more, but you know how it is. You just got to take what you get. And
yeah, it was also 40 today, so
it wasn't too. I mean, it was a little colder than that down here. It was pretty chilly. So, whenever it does snow, it's customary for Susan to drag me out on a walk. Right, so we walked around.
And outside. How was it?
It was cold and snowy. And I discovered that I do not own a pair of boots anymore. Right, like. So this was a problem, right? I have a pair of hiking boots that I've had for like 1,000 years. Okay. The soles are basically destroyed on them. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll wear my old work boots. Yeah. I'll just wear those. We're just walking around a field. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
No. Those have been sitting in my closet apparently so long that the soles have just like dry rotted out and they like fell off.
Oh, my no. Oh my.
The soles just disintegrated on these things while I was walking outside. So that was fun. So yeah, now I am bootless, right? That's where I'm at in my life. Bootless wonder here. Just
wow.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked, right? Like I was not expecting work boot soles to just dry right out, and then I wear them like every once in a while, but like not a lot, I guess. So I just never really noticed. Like, and I haven't worn them probably like a year. They've been sitting in there.
Sure.
And yeah, they just disintegrated. Like,
oh, that's wild.
What in the, yeah, it was crazy. I was like, so yeah, those are in the bin now. So bootless wonder here. So I cannot go on any more snow walks because the only other shoes I have are tennis shoes, and that won't work out real good. So
oh my goodness.
It was all right today. Fine. We went to a little wood area right back here. You can see all the deer tracks and the random stuff and things. It was really hilarious because we were in the woods and the snow's like so heavy, right? It's still on. It was still all in the trees this morning. We were like 10 o'clock this morning, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't exactly warm yet. It was colder this morning, I guess. But so we're in the woods, right? And so every once you could the wind would blow, and you could see it coming because it was knocking the snow off.
Yeah.
In this like. You could see the wind moving towards you because the snow was falling off the trees.
Oh, that's cool.
It was kind of awesome. You could just see the snow just like start to fall, like coming towards you like that. It was pretty funny. It was like, whoa, attack of the snow. Look at that.
Right. Run.
Yeah, it did remind me of the Gears of War, like the first one, where there's like the razor hail and they have to like run away from it. That's what it was like. It was like, but I didn't run in the woods. It's fine.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah,
not this time at least.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much all I did today.
Nice.
Let's do that. I made some like spiced apple cider. Oh yeah, in the crock pot. So
excellent.
Been hanging out. Yeah, it's great. This is our wintry snow day tradition, right? You just like throw it on in the morning, and then just kind of all day you can just go and scoop some into your cup.
Yeah, Sounds good to me. I like this idea.
It's a wonderful idea.
Very
10 out of
much.
10. Highly recommend.
Right. Yes.
Yes. But our adventure of the week took place last Saturday. Dun, dun, dun. So we, being inspired by you, always going out and exploring town, right? This is what we did. We decided we were going to make a whole day, go out on a bit of an adventure, exploring our town, going to places that we don't normally go. So it was very exciting. So I'll take you through our day. Here is Brandon and Susan's adventures chapter here. We had to start out at the tire shop, however, because we did have a slow leak in the tire, right? This is most likely due, I don't have any proof of this, but it's most likely due to the fact that our school is just currently an ongoing construction disaster. And so I'm going to blame it on that. But go to the tire shop, right? And so we just decided we're going to go in there. We'll just go in, we'll just leave it, and we'll just sit in the tire shop. And, because he was like, yeah, because they're only open till like noon or something on Saturday. He's like, yeah, we called him the day before. He's like, yeah, bring it in. We'll get it. We'll check it out. No problem. So we go in there. And listeners, I need to describe to you the very special experience that is just existing in a tire shop in the Midwest for a little bit. I don't know if you've ever done this, right? You've done this before. Yes. Right. This is how it works, right? You just hit in there and the people in the tire shop are hysterical, right? They're always like, it's just like old dudes bantering at each other, right? This is what happens, right? You just like, it's just old dudes bantering at each other the whole time. It's hysterical. And there was a dude in the shop, right? And I gathered by his demeanor and dress and the things that he was saying that he is some sort of truck driver, right? And so he is in the tire shop a lot, right? And so him and the owner were just like hamming it up, just like throwing these jabs at each other, right? But it was like funny, you know what I mean? Like good humor, not like bad, not like mean, not like, it was hilarious. And we're sitting there, we talked to the guy a little bit, right? And and he was bantering with the owner guy, and he came out, he was talking to us, whatever, and Susan was like, yeah, you were in here last time, and I just think you're hilarious. And he looked at her, and then he did this like really dramatic turn to the guy that worked there that he was talking to, the owner guy, who's like, did you hear that? I'm hilarious. Take that. And he popped his head out of the office without missing a beat. He's like, that's because you only think that because you don't have to see him every day of your life. It was just that kind of like,
good stuff.
It was hysterical, right? It was so hilarious, right? So that's just where we started the day, right? In the Midwest tire shop environment can be just it's a weird place, right? But it can be humorous, right? And the best part of this whole deal is we were talking to that dude, and then we were talking to the owner, and the owner like popped his head out of the office and goes, hey, you guys want hoodies? And we're like,
what?
I mean, yeah.
Is that an option?
Well, because the trucker guy got one because he was razzing. He was giving all kinds of grief. He's like, yo, I saw your guys wear a new hoodie. Where's mine? What's going on here? I'm a preferred customer, right? And he was just like,
oh, jeez, of course,
just being all ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the dude was like, hey, you guys want some? And we're like, yeah. So, so we also got free tire shop hoodie. I'm currently wearing mine right now. It's very excellent, right?
What?
Got a big it says like a big Yokohama tire logo on the back. # not sponsored, but like it's pretty rad.
Pretty awesome. That's for sure.
Yeah. A lot of the kids at school have this hoodie as well, right? I've seen it around before, but yeah.
Weird.
So now I have one. Boom. There you go. In the club, right? So
welcome.
Yes. So from there, we do what any good day of exploring has to have in it, at least in small Missouri towns, and that is you have to go back to the antique shop, right? You roll the dice. You say, is this day a day where the antique shop has a lot of good stuff in it, or is it only trash?
There's only
Boy,
one
howdy,
way to find
we rolled
out.
sevens, baby, because it was hilarious.
Oh, that's
There was all kinds of great stuff in there.
And that's the great thing about those is that you really like it's one of those few experiences in life where you genuinely don't know until you just show up, right?
It's generally a mystery.
Yeah.
Like what is in here? Who knows? Like, I also think we're going to have to workshop this a little bit, but I think there's an official like bingo game that can be made from this because like there's got to be thrift store like antique stop bingo. We got to workshop this, but we'll make cards. Okay, but this Louis L'Amour books has to be on there. That's number one, right? That's one of the spaces right now. They're everywhere. It's all over the place, right? But yeah, so we went in there, did some exploring, and there was some great stuff in there. And I wanted to buy way more of it, but I didn't. I sent you some pictures, right? That's what I was doing. I was wandering around the antique store, sending you random pictures of things that I thought were hilarious. But I did buy. They had like boxes and boxes and boxes of those like plastic student compasses for 75 cents a piece.
What?
And I was like, yes, I'm buying 2 dozen of these right now. I don't.
Yeah.
Because I have an activity that I have never been able to do because I don't have compasses. I have like one, right?
Mm.
And I didn't want to buy them because they're like $3-4 a piece. And that's a lot, but 75 cents a piece. Boy, howdy.
That's doable.
Yeah, got them.
Yeah, that's
I bought some of those.
Beauty.
Bought a Christmas record, right? Because you look through all the random records at the store. What you do. A lot of good stuff in there, right? Somebody trying to sell a Kiss live album that's completely water damaged for like $25, sir.
But it's Kiss.
I mean, you can barely read the cover because it is so water damaged. Like, I don't no, not that. Stop it. Okay. It's fine. Like, no, you can't even play this record. It's so like warped and malformed. Yeah.
Just extra character.
Yeah. Yes. And the other thing I bought was I found a set of these like triangle architect rulers. Yeah. Do I really need those? No. But are they awesome? Yes. Do I know how to read a scale ruler? Not really.
Nah.
Okay, not really. But it's fine.
But do they look really cool? You bet.
Yeah. There was 2 of them, and they have like part of it has the like just normal inches and centimeters and stuff, but like this other one has like all the weird like scales, like the quarter scale and the eighth and the I don't really know what I'm doing with this, right? I could probably call Dad and be like, psst, how do you use this thing?
But I need help.
But I got some. They're Japanese ones too, so they're pretty like sweet. They were just sitting on a shelf, and there was no price tag, and so the lady called the dude that owned it, and he's like, I don't even know what that is. How much you giving for me? So,
score.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And when I find items like that, I always want to know like more about the person who had those in that town, because most of I know some antique shops will get their stuff, they'll buy online and they'll bring it in, things like that, but a good chunk of those items are from somebody local, right? It was a local person who passed away or sold it,
or like it got passed around somehow and now it's here. Like
I really like when you find those things, you're like, who in my town had that?
Yeah, I wanted to know. There was like a whole section with like wood carving knives, and I was like, yes, those are really sick. I want these kind of because they're actually like good ones, but again, do I know how to use a wood carving knife? No, no, I do
Not
not.
yet.
So,
Not
I mean,
yet.
true. Now, when you put it that way,
Uh,
maybe.
you can't learn to wood carve without a set of knives. That's what I'm
That
saying.
is a fair point, right? I didn't really think about it that way, but now it's closed now, but could make.
Tomorrow is a new day.
Ah. So, yeah, that was fun. We spent a good long time in there hanging
Yeah.
out, combing, exploring through the. Again, I just have very like nostalgic vibes of like going and just being in antique stores, right? Part of it is because of my grandmother, right? Because that's what like she would just do that for fun, right? Just like go and see whatever. But even some of my friends when we were in high school, like we would do that too. Like to the random ones that were in downtown Springfield that were like, they're just like all of a sudden there's a random antique shop there. We'd be like,
Mhm.
what's in there? But I think that's kind of what it is. It's always that like, what's in there? What could be in there? Right? Because it is such a mystery and it's kind of like treasure hunting a little bit because there's at least one really cool thing in there, right? You may not be able to buy it, but you could see it and find it, right? Like
Well, yeah.
there's
Or you
there's
might
at
not
least
even.
something cool in there.
Yeah. You might not need it, but you'll go, huh. This is cool. Like that will happen at least one time. You're totally right. Of like, it's either something you've never seen before, or you enjoy seeing a lot, or is something that you didn't expect. And that's it is a whole experience to
Yeah,
go into
that is.
those.
I mean, that is one thing. Like, I have at least one cup, maybe two, that one of me and my friends were at some random one somewhere. I don't even remember where we were exactly, and we were like, there was two of them, and we're like, dude, these are awesome. Let's each buy one. Like, because they were like, no,
Yeah.
they were like $2, right? And it was like whatever. So I still have it. It's like I just have that sentimental attachment. I don't know if they still have it. They probably threw it away, or whatever, but like I still have mine.
Right. And that's what matters.
Yeah, I don't know if he still has it or not. Whatever. I have mine, and I have that like attachment because I just have that memory of like that like experience of like, hey, dude, this is kind of sweet, right? Like, so I thought that was fun. It's always fun. We like to go in there every once in a while and check and see what's going on, check about all the stuff. So that was part two, and then we went and ate lunch at just like Sonic, whatever, because we had a gift card. So that was a little less exciting. But
Nice.
then we made our way to the brand new library.
Oh, what?
Da-na-na. Yeah. So it's done. I guess, I think it's been up for a little while. It's fine. But we went to the new library that they built, right? It's pretty nice in there. Pretty sweet. Right? It's funny because we were talking to the librarian because Susan knows her, right? And so she was sort of distressed by the modern vibe of everything, right? It's like she was like,
Oh,
well, she was like, it's just so bright and
yeah.
open. And I was like, I feel that. Right. Yes, I guess I understand these words.
Yes.
But she did say that like the kids like love it. She said it's like full like all the time. So that's good, right? That's important. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, and if they're coming because they have like a whole section that are like study rooms, like in the back corner, that are like just little rooms that like I don't know if you like I don't know how you finagle your way in there, right? I don't know how you like reserve it or whatever, but like there's like
Sure.
a study, like a closed off room section, and it's just like it's like a glass wall so you can like see in there, so it's like safer than ever. But like it's just like a table and two chairs, done. Like just a little thing, and there's like a conference room in the back that you can like I guess use. I don't know, like
Yeah.
it's really cool. Like, and then there's the youth section is awesome. Like the seats in there, they're rad. Like I want all of those in my classroom. I'm a little jealous, right? I want that. But yeah, they have it's really nice in there. And she said the best part was like I don't remember. She told me the square footage of like the old building versus what they have now, and it's just it's like stupid way more like than it was in the old one because the old one was like downtown in like a brick building and just kind of like shoved in a corner, and like you said the space is astronomical. Like I was walking around looking, and they just have whole bookshelves that are empty.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is sweet, right? Like this is what you want, and like you need a room for expanding. And like the youth section, like the little teen, like the teen section, there's like, there's just there's like a whole bookshelf that's just like empty, right? And they have like a kids section back in the back, and they just have. I spent a lot of time just going around sitting on things. Right. This was my tour of the library because I wasn't. Susan like renewed her library card and got like the new official card and everything because she's been checking books out of like online and like, but she got the physical library card. So she feels very accomplished now. She's very joyous about this. She might have been hugging it. It's old. It's fine. But I was going around like sitting on stuff because they have all this seating everywhere and it's so interesting, right? It's so interesting.
Yeah.
The things they have. So they have, in one section over in the nonfiction, like the reference section, they have these little booths. They look like diner booths, but they're only one-sided. So it's like a booth seat, like a single booth seat, and then a table, and then a wall, and then repeat. So it's like a little,
like a study nook thing.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Oh,
like this is amazing.
Well, that's cool.
I sat in there. I sat on some benches. There was another one of those. They had some more of those things like that, but they were like kind of. It was like a chair, like an armchair kind of thing, but like the walls, like by where you rest your arms, that go straight up. And so it was kind of like a enclosed thing, but they were on wheels. So they could like go to different spots.
Oh,
that was also exciting. And then in the back, they just have like a room with chairs in it, which is just like a little reading room thing, which is kind of sweet, right? That's cool.
Like sitting chairs, reclining chairs.
Yeah, they're just like sitting chairs. They don't recline, but they're just like big vinyl chairs that you sit in. They're pretty comfortable. I sat in them. I was checking them out.
Well, I'm looking for your full library chair review. To come out soon.
Yeah, it was pretty great. I liked it a lot. The best part about the library, though, so we were standing there, and as you do, you walk in the front door, and they have the official library bulletin board, right, with all the like random stuff. There's also in the front, there's like a whole like community room thing over to the side. Like there's a whole front area that's like a little thing. There's just like tables and chairs and like desk, like like tables and chairs and like a pub chairs and stuff right there. They're just out there sitting there, and I don't know what that's for, but like just gathering, I guess. But then there's like a big old community room over there it's huge, and there's like a kitchenette and stuff. So I don't know what you can do with that too, but it's very interesting, right? That they have that. I'm sure that would be useful for stuff, right? You could do that because like the old library, I know some people that you can like rent those out for like birthday parties or I don't know, whatever. Like, who knows? But we were looking at the library bulletin board, right, with all the really strange groups and things that they were doing, right? And I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's interesting, right? And I walked in the room, walked in the front door, and I was kind of standing there, and I hear, Mr. Funkhauser? It's like,
slow turn.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, that's always what happens, like slow turn, like looking around, and I look over, and two of my former students are standing over there, waving furiously at me. They were participating in youth D&D campaigns at the library. They were hosting like a under 18 like D&D campaign, and they were there doing the setup and like making their characters and stuff. I was like, never been more proud in my entire life. I just want you to know that.
It's awesome. It's good.
It was great. Like, so I was talking to them for a second, right?
Yeah.
One of their moms came over and talked to us for a little while. It's hilarious. But so yeah, that was the library. Explored the library, doing all that stuff. Oh, the other thing that the librarian said was they kept the old bookshelf carts because they're great. And she was like, no. They asked us if we wanted new ones, and I was like, nah, no, these are the ones, right?
Fair enough. That's fine. That's great.
Yeah, she was like, no, they're keeping the carts. They're really cool. They're like these. They're like, okay, they're like tube steel and beige. So I'm looking at, what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
But they're like real skinny and tall. So they're actually like, they look like they're like 4 feet tall. But they're real skinny, and you only put books on one side. So they just wheel. She said they wheel just great. And they just, you sit them right next to the shelf, throw them up, the boom, done. And they have a whole bunch in the back behind the show. I looked down, there's like a whole rack that's just like says nonfiction. Like they have them labeled. So like all the books go there, and they just take them to the sections.
Oh, interesting.
When they show, yeah. She was like, no, we're keeping these carts. They're great. I love them. I've used them for years, and I don't want to get rid of them. So,
yeah,
that's fair.
Fine.
Hey, they work. Keep them.
Yeah.
It's a cart, right? If you like the cart you have, there's no reason to get a new cart, right?
Right.
That doesn't, like, if it's still carting, right? It's fine. It's fine. Don't.
Yeah. There's no reason to get rid of a functional cart.
Yeah, no reason to upset the literal and figurative apple cart here by replacing the cart.
It's good.
So yeah, that was the library tour. Very exciting. And then, the final stop. We had one more stop.
You guys
more stop. I know.
You guys were crazy.
I know. One more stop. We finally made it to the Asian market. Oh man. Right. I don't really know what I was hoping for exactly. But this is definitely it.
Oh, okay.
Right. Like it's definitely
it's very good. I was concerned.
Right. No, don't be. Right. On TV when you see like people at Asian markets and the aisles are way too narrow and the boxes are all stacked too high. And it's like kind of dark in there because the boxes are stacked so close to the ceiling that the lights can't get all the way down.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is like.
Yes.
And it's beautiful.
Okay.
It's like one whole entire wall. It's not very big, right? It's not big at all, which is why the cramped space, right? But there's definitely like one whole entire wall of like noodles. And I was just looking at them and being like, what do you do with that?
What do you
like? I don't.
Right.
Talk about being out of your depth, right? This is a situation where you go in and you're looking at things and you have absolutely no idea what they are, right? No clue. Like, what is this? I don't know. Because like at like the Mexican grocery store, right? Like things are familiar, right? I can sort of work out what they are. Some of the things in here, I was like, I have no idea what that is. I have no clue.
Yeah.
So it was great. It was a huge, not huge, right? But a big old row of like sauce, right? All the great sauces are in there. So they have all kinds of exciting things in there. It's like random, because Susan would come be like, what's this? Like, I don't know. That is in Japanese. I have no idea what
That's not a question you should be asking me right now.
I don't know. Now, listeners, to be fair, the sign says Asian market. What we are, of course, talking about is Southeast Asian market, right? Lots of, based on what I was reading, right? Thailand, Vietnam, China, Japan. That might be it. Those are the main things that I saw and could discern the difference between. Could there be more? Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
A small bit of Indian. There's like random spices in there that are very Indian, right? But like just like spices for days, right? Random stuff that I've never seen before. It was all very exciting. So definitely gonna have to go back in there with more of a plan next time, right? A little bit more of an idea instead of just being like, what is all this?
Right.
Mysterious things.
Don't know what any of this is.
Yeah, I don't. It was very, very cool, but also very like, I'm lost. I have no reference point for anything I'm seeing.
Right. Yeah. We have a European market here, and I very much I have that same feeling where it's like, well, what do I? Ooh, what is this? This looks like a smoked fish. Do I need that? What do I? Like? It's definitely not one where you could just pop in and go, oh, this and this for dinner, right? Because it's like I don't know what any of this is, so I need
yeah.
I need a plan.
Although I do know that I now need to procure myself a bamboo steamer, right?
Oh,
Because they have like random like frozen like buns in there, like Chinese like style like soup buns and like the pork bun.
yeah.
I need those in my life, but you have to steam them, right? And I don't have a steamer, so and they didn't have any in the store, which I was kind of upset about, but it's fine. It's okay.
Next time.
You can't have all the food and all the cooking instruments all at the same place. That feels too much.
A little bit.
They did have a bunch of random pots, and some of the pots I was like, "What even is this?" I don't know. I was like, "That's a rice cooker." Got it.
Right.
Don't know what that is. Like
unsure,
unsure,
unsure.
Right? And they just have like they also none of the stuff is like labeled either. So like they have a produce section, right? They have some like coolers and stuff in there, kind of slammed against the wall.
Mm.
I don't I have no idea what any of that stuff is, right? And if you're going there because you like know, then it's perfectly fine. Just be like, oh yeah, this is what I need, bam. But it's not labeled at all. So I don't even know. I don't even know what I was looking at.
Makes it a bit difficult.
It does, right? It does. Makes it very tricky to be like, I need. What is this?
Right.
And so for a long time, I was sort of standing over there, like looking at things, right? Like, I wonder what that is. I wonder what that is.
Right. A lot of wondering right now.
A lot of wondering, a lot of confusion, right? A lot of confused me in a store. So, listeners, if you have recommendations about what I should be buying at the Asian market, let me know. I will attempt to seek it out. All right. We did buy some like random like noodle packet things, right? They're like, I don't remember what they are. I have a picture of them here. Let's see where they go. But it's like, make. It's just like some noodles that you can make.
Oh, so, I have been on a like cup of noodles kick the past several weeks where like basically like ramen is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like those I have been I don't know what has been
they had so much of that in the store. It's not even like so many different kinds, so many like strange types. I was very excited. I was like, I want to buy all of these. No.
Yes.
Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
Not too much. Not too much.
They're Thai stir fry noodles with pad Thai sauce.
See that?
So they're just Thai stir fry noodles. So we were just gonna go, all right, well, we're just gonna make these and throw some chicken or something in them and see how it goes. I don't know.
Yes, that's exactly what you do. Let's just find out.
It was like $2. So I don't even know how you can not buy that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very exciting. And importantly, I did not buy any because I was scared. But in the back, in a cooler, there was definitely sliced durian in there.
And why didn't you?
Because I was afraid. I lost my nerve. Okay. I'm not proud to admit it, but I did. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
So close.
And terrifying at the same time. Right. I know all our friends in Singapore are going, suck it up, you baby. Just do it. Right. Okay. I'm getting there. Right. Hold on. I have a fear. Okay.
Just for those who aren't aware of the durian, describe what that is.
I can't fully because all I know is it's sitting in a shelf not very far away from my house, right? But it's a fruit, right? It's like a huge, like it's massive,
spiky
right?
too.
It's like a spiky, like I don't know what family it's in, but it's like a huge fruit from Southeast Asia somewhere, and it has the reputation of smelling atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on who you talk to, it either tastes amazing or horrid. And that kind of, there's no middle.
Yeah.
Right? There's no like, oh, I had some durian and it was okay. I've never heard that response from anybody who I've either met that has eaten it, any television show I had ever seen anybody eat it on, right? Like, nothing, right? No in the middle, no middle ground of like, oh, it was fine. No. It's either like, oh, this is great, or oh my gosh, I want to die. Why did I put this in my mouth? This is why I became a feared, right? I didn't. So maybe next time I'll buy more at least cup noodles and.
Yeah. Let's start with the $2 noodles. You can work your way up to the durian later.
Yeah, I might just get it. Who knows, right? I want to know: is that a thing that when you put it on the counter and the Asian lady at the counter does she just look at you and go, like, shake her head disapprovingly, or how's that interaction go? I'm a little afraid of that too, right? Like, is she not going to be care because she's watching TV? Possibly, but I don't know.
Yeah. It'd be a surprise for everybody, right?
Listen, I don't want to upset the aunties. Okay, that's why I don't want to do that. So I don't. But it was very exciting. It was very exciting. Just like the possibilities in there, and again, it was a lot to take in because it's like a pretty small building, but it is so full of things that who knows what I missed when I was in there. Untold things await in that book.
Well, and you know what?
Like,
in all honesty, it's probably also a lot like the antique store of who knows how much is just like comes and goes from time to time, like when they are able to get access to the item and when it can get in versus the number of items that they get in. So
yeah, it's true. Like what's available. I can guarantee you the noodles are there all the time.
Oh yes, because
that wall is gigantic. If I go in again, I'll have to take a picture of the cup noodles for you because you'll just die. It's
very excited about this.
So huge, like random stuff, and it's just like, oh, what's this? Is this tea? Yes, it is. Why? Okay. What's this?
Good to know.
Like, is this the biggest jar of turmeric I've ever seen in my life? Yes, it is. All right, there we go. Just hanging out on the shelf. Excuse me. It was very cool. I really liked it in there. But again, I did feel very out of my depth because I was just like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
I kind of want it anyway. But I don't know what to do with it if I have it.
Oh man, that is if that's not just the story of my life, I don't know what is.
So really, Asian markets and antique stores are kind of the same, right? They are very similar through line here,
They are. There's such great bounce of exploration and newness and possibilities, right?
Mystery,
right? Yeah, and confusion.
Yeah, mostly confusion. Right?
A little bit of fear. A little bit of fear, maybe.
Definitely some fear. Though.
Well, I think that was I mean, what did you think of your day at the town?
That was great. It was fun. I was very tired at the end. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sit down. But yeah, I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, that was the adventure that we took, exploring places where we haven't been before. Maybe we'll do a part 2, right? It's warmer. Because Susan's like, oh, we should go downtown. It's like, whoa, not today. I'm kind of done right now.
Right. I'm tired and it's kind of cold. So let's.
Yeah, it's cold and been walking around a lot. Even though I was sitting on all the chairs at the library.
Except for that. But that was research, that part. Right? I wasn't relaxing.
Research. It was for science. Yeah, I wasn't relaxing. I was comparing, right? It was a comparative analysis of seating arrangements. So
you had to have your wits about you.
Working.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't lounging. It was for science. Right? Scientific comparison. It's totally different. It's fine. So I think
but it is. I that sounds really cool. Getting out and doing that, and I think that kind of exploration of the familiar is. I say familiar because it's it's our town, right? Oh, we've lived here for 10 years, 20 years. We've lived here all of our life. Of course, we know what's going on, or of course, there's this thing. I think doing your best to view what you assume to know, or that familiar aspect of it. Like that, I think that while it's nice to be familiar with things and be comfortable in that, viewing it with a speculative eye or an unfamiliar eye, trying to change that from that perspective of going, oh, what if I viewed this in a different way? And I still went out and explored and knocked on doors and talked to people. That's something that helps keep you from, I don't know, just not appreciating what's there.
Yeah. Right. And I agree. I was kind of thinking about that while I was doing it. Right. I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about, because that's kind of like the one of we've talked about before, the like underlying themes of the show that we keep coming back to, right? Is like doing new stuff, right? Even if it's small, like going into a store that you've never been in before, right? That counts. People always think about like, oh, doing new things is such a huge endeavor, right? It's so big. Like, well, I mean, it can be, right? If you set yourself up for that. If you're like, I'm gonna learn salsa dancing, right? That sounds like a big scary thing, right? But you could do that if you wanted to, but you could also just go into a new store you've never been in before. That counts as doing something new, and just kind of those little things, because like you said, like I've lived here for a long time and there are places I've never been, just because you go to the same 4 places all the time. You stay with what's familiar. You get hurry. You're just like, oh yeah, I'll just go there. But like, there's a lot more other things around. If you just kind of poke your head out a little bit. So kind of sniff them out every once in a while. Not all the time. That gets exhausting, right? You don't want to do like new all the time, right? But every once in a while, it's kind of fun to just kind of poke your head out and be like, oh, what if I tried that instead? So it's a good message I can get behind. Kind of exploring, right? And you start in your own town, right? If you live in a town, small town, if you live in a big city, it's a little easier then, right? You have more options. But even if you live in a small town in the Midwest, you can still find new experiences and not that very far from your house, right? New things to explore, new people to meet, new adventures to be had.
Mm-hmm. And it helps you appreciate what's around you a lot. I don't know if you've had that experience where the first time you see a store, you go, huh, that's new. I should probably check that out. And then the next time you see a store, it's the going out of business sale, or like or something, or like the news article about how they had hardships and things. And it's like, well, dang it! Like I didn't get an opportunity to go like see what was going on.
Yeah,
and
I'm definitely guilty of that. I do that all the time. Right? Like,
yes.
Oh yeah, I should do that. Never do. Right? Like never.
Yeah. Not
get around to it. Like.
And that's not saying like, oh, by me showing up, that's going to prevent them from going out of business. But no, it's just you taking part in your local community and seeing the goings on, right? And it helps you go, man, like, and I think part of it, like, the more you do that, the more you can take a step back and go, man, there's a lot of cool things here that I really appreciate. I know that's something that as we've explored different areas, I've gone, man, this community is actually like doing a lot of stuff. Like, they are very busy and very industrious and like trying new things. And you really see that work ethic and that focus on improving for everybody. The more you get to that, and it helps you go, okay, maybe the news reports and the doom and gloom and all these things going on, like, sure, there are bad things in the world. I am, though, connected with people who are trying to do something better, whether that's building a business, doing community outreach, helping those in need, or anything else in between, and go, okay, like, it gives a lot of surety, I guess, to myself at times as well.
Yeah, it can be fun, right? It is scary, right? It can be, there's like this, like, oh, I just want to do the thing that I know about only, right? Because it's expedient, it's faster, it's safe, right? And safe is good. You like safe, but yeah, I would encourage people to go just try something new every once in a while, right? Not all the time, because that's like emotionally draining,
right?
If that's not like the kind of personality that you have, right? Because that can be like a factor too as well here. Let's be honest, like that can be a draining aspect for some things, but it's fun to just kind of go out and like explore around. Because I've talked about that before, like with the downtown here, like I just feel like there's nothing there, but that's because I don't go there. You know what I mean? Like, so it could be a little bit one of those, like, well, maybe there is something that I want, I just haven't tried it out yet. So
right,
maybe we'll do that sometime. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, when it's warmer.
How it goes. Yeah, when it's warmer. He's like walked down the downtown street. You know, because we have that like downtown strip where there's like all the stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe we could do that. Right. So we'll see.
Yeah. For springtime. Well, you go do that, try new things, and I will go paint some more of the other beige tomorrow.
Go paint more beige.
More beige.
Yeah. More beige. Perfect.
Very good. Well, yes. So lots of rest to get painting beige tomorrow, and you got to go back to school. So
that's right. Rest that elbow. Right.
I do.
Just get your tennis elbow from painting.
Gotta ice it.
Yeah. Ice it down. Oh, make sure you stretch it out slowly. Right. Don't overstretch. You want to do slow. That thing where you close your fist and you kind of make slow circles. Right. To stretch out your forearms. You know. That thing.
Yeah. Clockwise, counterclockwise.
Yeah. Then you like pull your fingertips back a little bit and you push them down gently.
Go stretch on the wall with that thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, big day tomorrow. Got lots. Full. So. Well. So love you.
I love you too.
Bye.
Bye.